Hello, this is Josh from Monastery Dropouts, and today I'd like to talk about gift giving. Since it's the Christmas season and we'll be giving and receiving a lot of gifts, I want to talk about the spiritual teachings I've received over the years about gift giving and how we can let go of ourselves, let go of our egos in this process of giving gifts to other people. Giving gifts is one of the great things about being a human and being alive. We can give a piece of ourselves to other people, and we can give our love to other people. And that's such a beautiful thing, and it's such a blessing. But I bet most people who are watching this video have experienced really weird things that happen with gift giving, where other people expect things from you, they expect you to react in a certain way, and they expect things from you because they're giving you a gift. And that is totally against what it is to give a gift. A gift should come from the heart, and it should be given freely. If we think about the basis of our reality and the basis of our spiritual belief, that area of life is boundless and open, and it's always giving us freely. Everything that we have in this world, every single person, everything that we have is given freely to us, with no expectation, just love. And that is how we should be giving gifts to other people. If we want to give freely and openly, if we want to have the most joy with giving, we give it because we love the person. We want to express our love. And that's what the gift is. It's an expression of our love to that person. And so there is no expectation once that gift leaves our hands. And if other people expect things from us because they give us a gift, then they're not really giving it to us, are they? They're attaching a lot of things of themselves onto that gift, and they're telling us we have to act in a certain way. So in a way, it's not love. It's not giving. It's taking, in a sense. And so I want to talk about a couple stories from saints in this regard. And some people may consider them kind of harsh stories, but to me, some of the harshest teachings from saints are some of the most beautiful expressions, because they're helping people let go of their egos, and they're helping the person experience more and more love. So the first story I'd like to talk about is from the spiritual director of the yoga center I lived at, 20 some years ago. He has since passed, but he told a really funny story about his experiences with a saint. And this spiritual director, he had actually been a direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. So he wasn't no slouch spiritually, but all of us need these lessons over time. And so this spiritual director, before he was spiritual director, he continued to travel around and experience different saints, similar to how Danton and I did that in our early 20s and 30s. And he kind of continued to do this. And these saints would recognize how advanced he was spiritually. And so they would ask him to do certain things with them. So Bob Reimer, my former spiritual director at the yoga center, he was with a saint in India, and he was traveling around in a car, and he had been hanging around the saint for quite a while, and he knew that he liked certain things, and he knew that he liked cameras and taking pictures. And so he bought him a very, very expensive, beautiful camera, and he was so excited because it was top of the line, newest camera of that time period. And so he was driving in the car with the saint and his saint's assistants. And Bob said, "Hey, I want to give you a gift. Can I give you a gift?" And the saint said, yes, like, I'd love to see it. And so he gave him the camera, and the saint looked at it, and he was like looking through the lens, and he was admiring it, and he was talking to the assistant. And he asked the assistant, like, "Do you like this? Like, isn't it really cool?" And the assistant's like, "Oh, wow, it's so amazing." And he's like, would you like to have this? And the assistant was like, "Oh man, like, I would love to have that. It's like the newest and most amazing camera that there is." And so the saint, after receiving the gift from Bob Reimer, gave it directly to his assistant. He said, "You can have it. Like, it's such an amazing thing. You should have it." And the assistant's like, "Oh wow, thank you so much." And when Bob was telling this story, he said, "I was just devastated." He's like, "I gave him the camera because I really wanted to give it to the saint, and then the saint gave it away immediately." And he said, For a few minutes, he was really upset and he was devastated, but he realized that the saint recognized his attachment to the gift. And so the saint was trying to show him how to let go of that attachment and just give freely, like we were talking about. And so Bob Reimer, when he was telling the story, said how thankful he was for the hurt feelings that he had in that moment, because it helped him let go of his ego. And it was just another clue for him about how saints see what we need in those moments. And even if the saint wanted that camera, he probably would have given it away, because it was a perfect teaching lesson for Bob. Now, if you don't want a gift for this Christmas season and someone gives it to you, I don't recommend you doing that with your family. No, most people's family members aren't as spiritually evolved as Bob, and they wouldn't handle it as well. Bob took it very well. I don't think he even said anything in that moment. He meditated on it later, and he learned and grew from the experience. I think it'd just be very, very hurtful for most people. But for us who want these spiritual lessons, and we want this harshness, and we want to grow so that we don't have to suffer in the future, we appreciate these things. But I think if we do that to our family members, I think they would probably be hurt, because I think we see a lot of this at our family events, a lot of the attachments, a lot of the idea that you have to use something, you have to take care of something because someone gave it to you. That you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to fulfill other people's desires because they gave you something. And I want to give another teaching from a saint that shows how we don't have to take on other people's stuff because they gave us something. So Cealo, the monk that I traveled with and Dan had traveled with for a long time, we were around him quite a bit for certain periods of time. And then sometimes we wouldn't see him for a long time, and then he would come back, and we would learn things from what he had experienced. And sometimes he would tell us stories, and sometimes Amika would tell us stories. And I forget who told me this story, but Cealo, he would come to the US and come to the West, and he would collect money and collect items, and then he would take it back to the East, to the poorer countries, physically poor, possibly spiritually richer, but he would take the physical things to those other countries and give them to people. And so one of his followers made music, and so he offered to give music, like on a CD disc, back when we had CDs, for Cealo to sell. And Cealo was really thankful, and he said, "Thank you so much." And he's like, "I'll sell this and I'll give the proceeds to the people in these other countries." And the person who followed Cealo was totally fine with this. He had made 10 songs and put them on a CD, and he was really proud of these songs, and he wanted more people to hear it. And so he wanted people to hear these songs and know that he had done this for Cealo. But what happened is, over time, Cealo, at each of his sessions, would sell more and more of these CDs because people really enjoyed it. And the songs involved Cealo's teachings. He had written a book of different sayings and quotes that were spiritually uplifting, so you could meditate to them. And then the songs had these quotes in them. And so his followers really liked it, and they wanted to buy them. And when the follower who made the CD realized how many people were buying things, he decided, well, I actually don't want to give this completely to you. I want some of the proceeds, so maybe you can give me a couple dollars for each CD, and you can keep the rest as well. So it's still a gift, but I want part of it back. And Cealo was like, no, you do not give a gift and then ask for it back or take it back or change what you did or ask me to do things because you gave it to me. You give a gift because it comes from your heart, and I receive it with my heart. And he says, now you have changed the gift and you've made it bad, or you've twisted it into a not loving gift, but now you want some of the proceeds from this gift. And so Cealo completely rejected the gift. He said, you take it. I'm not going to sell it anymore. I don't want any piece of this. And then the person felt bad. He was like, no, like, I want you to take it. And Cealo, he just said, no, I'm not doing this. I'm done with it. I love you, but I'm not taking this on. That's not what the gift was. Gifts are not made to be taken back or changed or altered. You give a gift from the open space of your being, from the loving part of your being, and you give it freely, and you let it go at that point. The gift itself is a vessel of love. You are a vessel of love, and the love comes from God or that divine consciousness or that divine space, and it goes through you, and so you feel that blessing. And if the person loves it, you feel their spark of love, and then you get the blessing too. Gifts are not there to boost your ego. They are not there to make your ego bigger and make you show you in some light. The gift is there to express love, and that's all it is. And that's why asking for something in return, it makes it into something dark and kind of dirty, and it kind of makes you feel icky. And you see this with people, we see this with our families, and that's okay. There's no need to judge anyone. But for us, we don't need to do that. We can give freely and let it go. And this is a lesson for all of life. Everything is given to us and everything is given away. Eventually, everything that we have will be given away. And so let's just do it freely. Let's just be free in our lives and let everything go and let everything come. And not hold any attachment to our ego, not hold any attachment for ourselves. We will just freely give it. So this Christmas, I ask that you use the gifts as a symbol of your love and use yourself as a vessel of giving these things to other people, and try to really take stock of this beautiful season. I know there's a lot of materialism and there's a lot of kind of weirdness with giving in the Christmas season, but we don't have to fall into that. We can enjoy those moments of just being able to freely give and to watch people receive things. And it's really beautiful. It's a really beautiful time. And if we let go of the materialism and we just enjoy giving gifts to children and giving gifts to family members, giving gifts to friends that aren't expecting it, it's a really, really beautiful thing. And so when it's coming from our hearts, people can feel that. And so please use those lessons and enjoy this season. And I'm really excited for the next couple of days of being with family and opening gifts, and I hope you are too. All right, that's all I have today on Monastery Dropouts. I'm Josh. Have a good Christmas season.